Welcome back to the Gentleman's Gazette. In today's video, we'll be examining a style technique of various celebrities, that being monochromatic outfits, and determine whether this is actually a stylish look for you or not. A quick look at any celebrity tabloid magazine will show you that various celebrities like Christian Bale and George Clooney frequently wear monochromatic looks, on the red carpet and elsewhere. And let's not forget the tone-on-tone look popularized by Regis Philbin around the turn of the millennium. It even spawned a clothing line from Van Heusen. But our question today is whether these sorts of looks have any place in the wardrobe of a gentleman who follows the tenets of classic style, and if there are other types of outfits that could still be considered monochrome that are better looks. To begin answering this question, let's examine our terminology. The word monochrome is derived from the Greek monochromatos, meaning of a single color. And actually, the word of is important to latch onto here. It suggests that all of the elements of color may not be exactly the same, but are just derived from the same color. More on that later. Another definition of monochrome is used more in fields like photography, meaning something that is rendered in black and white. However, in the world of menswear, black and white looks correspond more to evening formal wear like black and white tie, so we won't be talking about them here. However, if you are curious to learn more about the black tie and white tie dress codes, you can do so using our comprehensive black tie guide here. So what are we then considering a monochromatic look to be? Essentially, it's a look that is, again, derived from one color. However, not all elements of the outfit have to be in exactly the same color, like all black or all navy, for example, and can use tints or shades of that color. A tint is where white is added to the regular hue, and a shade is where black is added. By the way, if you'd like to learn more about color terminology, you can find all of that in our video on using the color wheel to assemble outfits here. In addition to it being a misconception that a monochromatic outfit must feature pieces that are all in exactly the same shade, it's also a misconception that everything in the outfit has to be a solid. You can incorporate patterns and textures into different garments, and we'll be discussing that more later on. So, while there are some kinds of monochrome outfits that we would suggest you avoid, there are other types that can look sophisticated and streamlined. With that said, we'll go over a few key do's and don'ts of monochromatic outfits in the rest of the video. Our first big point here, don't try to assemble an outfit using garments that are all of exactly the same shade or tint. Again, using an all-black or all-navy outfit as an example, one of the reasons why you should avoid attempting a look like this is that it's going to be extremely difficult to match the blacks and navies in the same outfit between different garments. This is because different garments are composed of different fabrics and are also dyed differently. If they're not coming from the same manufacturer or are in the same fabric treated with the same dye, the color won't be exactly the same, even if they're all generally considered to be black, navy, or other colors like that. Therefore, the fact that you're going to be wearing various garments that are almost the same color but not exactly will leave viewers thinking something is just a bit off about your outfit. Another reason to avoid looks of this nature is because if your outfit is comprised of all elements of one single color, your body is just going to recede in photographs. You'll look like one large mass, and there won't be any definition to your form. With exceptionally dark colors like black and navy, patterns and textures aren't going to stand out that much either, so still trying to incorporate some visual interest using these techniques won't help if your base color is exceptionally dark. Trying to assemble a truly monochrome outfit like this can be seen as sort of an easy out in the fashion world, but even then, it isn't great for the reasons we've outlined above. In other words, Christian Bale's all-black red carpet look and Regis Philbin's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire wardrobe aren't really smart style choices. No disrespect to either of these talented guys, though. With that major don't out of the way then, we would advocate that you do try to choose a color that isn't so bold as your base color for a more monochromatically inspired outfit. So, for example, instead of centering a monochromatic outfit around black, you could think about using the grayscale more broadly. More on that in a moment. By the way, you can find our video on why we think black is the most overrated color in menswear here, and our video on specifically whether or not you should wear a black suit here. So, in addition to the grayscale, you could base a monochromatic outfit around staple colors in menswear like blue or brown, or also go for something like green or even burgundy. Phrased another way, it's easy to assemble monochromatically inspired outfits around neutral tones or tones that occur in nature. You can find our video on wearing and pairing neutrals here. Also, we recommend that you do wear various shades and tints of your base color in a monochromatic outfit. Varying the brightness of your source hue in an outfit is going to keep everything in the same harmonious overall mode of color, but it will also provide some definition and visual interest between the various elements in your outfit. For example, the outfit that I'm wearing in today's video uses blue as its base hue, but there is variance in the shades and tints of blue in the different garments. More on that in a more detailed breakdown later on. And as we said before, do try to experiment with textures and patterns in your monochromatically inspired outfits. Again, using my outfit today as an example, the texture of my cardigan sweater adds some visual interest, and my shirt has a striped pattern. Something else to avoid, don't wear too many layers in a monochrome look. As you're trying to maintain harmony between the different pieces, but also stay centered around a base hue, the more pieces you add, the more difficult it's going to be to do this. Also, if you're incorporating patterns and/or textures, again, the more garments you add, the more difficult it's going to be to keep everything harmonious. While assembling my outfit for today's video, I looked for a suitable tie to wear. However, all of the different textures, patterns, and shades of blue that I found in the studio didn't quite keep this outfit tied together. So I decided to go without a tie. Similarly, if I had tried to wear a blue jacket over the top of my sweater, that probably would have further complicated things as well. Sometimes, if you are going for a monochromatically inspired look, it's better to keep things simpler. With all that said though, our final don't today is don't feel like you have to stick to the rules we've outlined rigidly. While we do think that the guidelines we've put forward will help you to successfully build monochromatic outfits that look good, at the end of the day, you still can wear whatever you think will make you look best. After all, if what you're wearing is making you feel confident and more like yourself, that's the main objective. To round out today's video then, here are a few different examples of monochromatic looks to give you a better idea of how to pull them off well. The first one is, of course, the outfit that I'm wearing here today. My trousers today are in a shade of medium blue that you could consider a sort of central or base tone of blue color that sets the standard for the outfit. Meanwhile, my shirt incorporates a pattern of a lighter blue and white stripe. As I said before, my cardigan is on the darker side of the blue spectrum, and it does also incorporate some elements of gray into its weave. The main color of my socks is actually their lighter gray, but they feature light blue as their shadow stripe, so they still work within the blue color family here. And I don't happen to own a pair of blue shoes, at least not yet, so I've rounded out the look today with a pair of gray suede derbies. They harmonize with the socks and with the gray elements in my sweater, and the suede does provide a bit of a textural element as well. So I suppose you could technically say that my outfit today isn't truly monochromatic because it's incorporating a good deal of gray, but it still gets the point across. By the way, we do have a video on specifically pairing gray and blue together, and you can find it here. This second example outfit uses brown as its central or base color. Again, the trousers are sort of in the middle here, with their chocolate brown shade being darker than some elements and lighter than others. The camel hair sport coat, of course, reads as tan, and its buttons are also in a darker brown. Underneath it is my off-white shirt, which, taken with all of the other elements of the outfit, reads as if it's in the brown family. My brogued derby shoes and my belt are both in medium brown leather, and my pocket square is in a very dark brown. It's the darkest element of the outfit. My bow tie from Fort Belvedere is woven in a houndstooth pattern, and it incorporates off-white and dark brown. Also reading within the brown family are the Edelweiss boutonniere and the cufflinks in an eagle claw design that feature tiger's eye as the stone with gold metal. You can find those cufflinks and the boutonniere in the Fort Belvedere shop as well. Our third example outfit again uses blue, but it's a bit more complex. The boldest element is the rowing blazer, which features broad stripes in blue and black. The light blue shirt is solid to ground things a bit, and the mottled blue knit tie provides a textural element. The pocket square is in a lighter blue, and it also features some paisleys in a pattern for another visual element of contrast. The belt is in a blue fabric, accented with some brown leather and a gold buckle, which also harmonizes with the gold monkey's fist knot cufflinks, also available in our shop. Rounding out the outfit are the trousers, which are light blue chinos, and some blue suede chukka boots. As you can see, there are a few non-blue elements here and there around the outfit, but the main pieces of the ensemble are definitely blue, and everything harmonizes together, despite the fact that this outfit is more complex than the one I wore here today.